Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. After my epic ride in the last episode, starting out from the city of Tugigaraw and into the Chico Valley of the Kalinga province, and then crossing over into the mountain province and towards the capital of Bontoc, I am now continuing my journey from here in Bontoc proper, up the hill to the village of Favarey-Fura to see the legendary and historical Maligcong Rice Terraces. The idea of going up where not many travelers dare to go, came to me after having seen rare pictures about the remote and magical lush green rice terraces of Maligcong. And as I was digging a bit deeper and reading about this place, I learned that these terraces have been existing for over 1,000 years. And that was the beginning of my dream to one day be able to go up there and explore it by myself. And now the day finally arrived and I am on my way up the steep hill to see the rice terraces I wish to see in real life. It will be around a 30 minutes drive from here in Bontoc proper, which is located at around 870 meters above the sea level, by ascending the very steep angled road up to the village of Favarey-Fura. That is nestled high up in the valley at a lofty 1,400 meter high plateau. Naturally the road comes with a lot of challenging steep sloped hairpin curves, which is built close to the edge of the abyss on one side and on the other side facing a sheer cliff wall. But that is one of the excitement of coming up here, to the not often visited highland farming community which is known for its underrated rice terrace structures, and which is also a peaceful place for any adventurer seeking a well-deserved break from the hustle and bustle of the city life. Now you have to keep in mind that in and around the village of Favarey-Fura, there are no hotels or restaurants to serve and accommodate any tourists and travelers. But there are a couple of lovely homestays available. And one of these accommodations is Vilma's Maligcong homestay, which I booked myself in for 2 nights. The homestay comes with a kitchen, several clean rooms on the higher floors, living room with a large dining table and a big bathroom on the lower floor. And if you wish you can also rent the whole house for yourself. The owner, Miss Vilma, lives just next door and is very gracious and accommodating and is preparing free brewed coffee and mountain tea for the entire day, as well as preparing you homemade meals during your stay, if you wish so. Now I learned from my readings that the Maligcong Rice Terraces are believed to have been built around 1,000 years ago by the indigenous Ifugao people of this area, and are one of the world's oldest and most extensive use of terraces, with some rice terraces dating back to the year of 100 before Christ. I learned from the owner of my homestay that the knowledge and practices for maintaining the terraces were passed down orally from one generation to the other generation, without written records. And so one can say that the Ifugao builders really demonstrated a very high level of knowledge of structural and hydraulic engineering, by starting to build this feat of marvel back in the early ages and continuing throughout the Middle Ages until the present days. She also told me that the name of Maligcong was derived from the word ligcong, which means to level land for a rice field. True to its name, and through the locals' hard work, years of labor paved the way for whittling the mountains into the stunning terraces we can see as of today. Furthermore, the Maligcong Rice Terraces are considered as one of the emerging treasures of the Bontoc province, as it is known for its distinctive stone walls which make the terraces more steady in withstanding the natural erosion. And as you can see here, The road is just wide enough for one car, which makes it a bit tricky for cars and jeepneys to cross each other without one of them is reversing. And by the way, a jeepney, like the one which I just crossed here, is a type of public utility vehicle that serves as the most popular means of public transportation all over the Philippines. I just reached now the halfway point, which is also one of the best spot on this Maligcong road that I can stop and overlook the town of Bontoc and soaking in the sights and the fresh air of the Chico River Valley. At this elevation, it is easy to see Bontoc's fertile valley and the Chico River weaving through it, and most importantly to understand why the local people here are so very proud of their beautiful place. So let's continue and talk a bit about the hiking possibilities up here, which are in and around the village of Favarey. This area has a lot of nice walking and hiking trails, like the one that is traversing the Maligcong Rice Terraces, which is indeed a nice adventure by itself because you are in the middle of the terraces surrounded by the most beautiful and mesmerizing view without exhausting yourself too much. The most common trail is the Favarey to Favarey trail, and if you still feel of continuing, then just take the Favarey to Favarey Trail 2, and all the way to the Favarey village. Just remember that once you reach the village of Favarey, the only way back is to walk, as there is no road for cars that is leading for and back from the village of Favarey. And if you still don't have enough, then there is the hike up to Mount Fato and Mount Kupapey. Mount Fato is the lower one, peaking at around 1,438 meters, and because the village of Favarey is already at an high altitude, the trail going to the summit is short and perfectly doable within 1 to 2 hours. Even though there are some lung-busting assaults, the trails are filled with pine trees and the cool Cordilleran breeze that is constantly blowing and greatly reducing the difficulty and making this mountain literally an easy task to climb. Then of course there is the big brother, and that is Mount Kupapey, which is peaking at 1,647 meters in elevation. And with a hike that is starting as flights of concrete pathways that will turn into a moderately ascending forest trail dotted by multitudes of pine trees, before it is giving way to open grassland, and that makes this hike a bit longer but also not too difficult to master. The two mountains rank as one of the more beautiful Philippine mountains, with truly breathtaking views onto the scenic rice terraces and the entire valley, especially from the summit. And as the location here is lesser known than the neighboring Bontoc Rice Terraces, and the village of Sagada with its hanging coffins, this is truly a gem of a destination and still a secret backpacker's paradise. And as it is overlooking the magnificent Maligcong Rice Terraces that rivals the one in Bontoc in terms of grandeur, but is much more less touristy, and with a refreshing pine-scented breeze in the air, this is certainly the retreat to relax and unwind away from the hustle and bustle of the daily rush that one is experiencing in the more famous places here.
Vilma's homestay? I have to go inside here. Okay, thank you.
And now a very good morning to a sunny new day, just perfect for exploring the Maligcong Rice Terraces, which should be just around the corner from Vilma's homestay, because the road ends here at Vilma's house and the only way to continue is by foot on the Favarey-Fura to Favarey-Fura trail, that is leading across the rice terraces to the village of Favarey-Fura. So let's have a quick look at Vilma's guest house here in the Favarey-Fura village, which comes with an open terrace, its own kitchen, bathroom, dining table and living area here at the ground floor, as well as several guest rooms up on the higher floors. Now look at this view. I am really lost for words here. This is really so surreal, and wherever I am looking, I only see stairways of green and water-filled rice parcels crisscrossed by the natural paths that are meticulously chiseled into the slopes of the verdant hills, and that roll softly away over the horizon and into the next valley. And as I am now walking along the paths which are sculpted like arteries on this forgotten world, I am feeling like I am dreaming or hallucinating. But I think that this is just the breathtaking effect of the natural beauty around me that gives the Maligcong Rice Terraces this magical touch. And as I am realizing with every step I am taking, I am really in the middle of a nearly 2,000-year-old rolling panoramic scene that is carved out in the shape of a huge rice-growing staircase that continues to extend as far as my eyes can see. The majestic Maligcong Rice Terraces here are also eyeing for the distinguished honor of becoming a certified national cultural treasure, the same status that is held by the world-renowned Ifugao Rice Terraces in the nearby valley. The Maligcong Rice Terraces are also known for their traditional agricultural systems and their stunning stone walls, which enables the farmers to reach a higher altitude and built on steeper slopes than many other terraces that you can find elsewhere. It is really a wonder of ingenuity of the Ifugao people to build this complex web of walls made out of stones and mud, and careful carving into the natural contours of the surrounding hills and mountains, and creating these terraced pond fields, coupled with the development of intricate irrigation systems which is harvesting the water from the forests of the mountain tops, and passing each and every pond with just the right amount of water from the highest to the lowest parts of the terraces, and creating an elaborate farming system for all the families that are involved here. The Maligcong Rice Terraces are spread out to an area of approximately 12 square kilometers or around 2,000 hectares and take up 3/4 of the Kupapey mountainside valley here. The terraces were also nominated by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO's Greece Melina Mercouri International Prize, which is a biennial award that recognizes individuals, institutions, or non-governmental organizations for their efforts to protect and manage cultural landscapes. Furthermore, this Ifugao Rice Terraces illustrates the remarkable ability of human culture to adapt to new social and climate pressures as well as to implement and develop new ideas and technologies. Moreover, I learned that maintaining the living rice terraces is made by the cooperative approach of the whole community working together as one entity, and which is based on the detailed knowledge of the past and present as well as of the rich diversity of biological resources that are existing here in the Ifugao agricultural ecosystem. And on top of this, it is incorporating a finely tuned annual system respecting the lunar cycles that is combined with the zoning and planning, so that they can reach the maximum benefit of extensive soil conservation. And all this mixed together with the mastery of a complex natural pest control regime based on the processing of a variety of natural herbs, that on top of all is accompanied by their religious rituals, which is a truly scientific task by itself, makes this endeavor a truly special one, to be treasured for generations to come. It is also interesting to know that the rice terraces of the Cordilleras are one of the few monuments in the Philippines that show no evidence of having been influenced by any of the past colonial cultures. And by owing to the difficult terrain, the Cordilleras tribes are among the few peoples of the Philippines who have successfully resisted any foreign domination and have preserved their authentic tribal culture. And so the history of the terraces is intertwined with that of its people, their culture, and their traditional practices that can still be seen as of today. And now, after so much history and a lovely day out leisurely walking in the rice fields, I decided to just chill here on the roofless terrace of my homestay until the evening. The nights here in the mountains are starting early and it is really getting extremely dark up here, and with the distant light sources that could be counted with only one of my hands, and the super clean air that is existing up here, I can see millions of stars shine so brightly like never before. I swayed back and forth enveloped in the cool breeze of the night and viewing the sky, and occasionally spotted a firefly flicker zipping away nearby me too. And it is in this moment that I truly felt I am at peace with the universe, and that nothing else matters, and that is what I call the Shangri-La of Maligcong. And on this interesting Shangri-La moment, I will also end my video for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and I am looking forward to see you back in my next part, when I will continue my journey from here in Maligcong, and riding down into the Chico River Valley until I will reach the town of Cervantes in the province of Ilocos Sur. And from there, I will be conquering the high Bessang Pass that is feared by many, and then crossing into the province of La Union on my way to the west coast of Luzon, towards the town of San Fernando. So don't miss it, and cheers to all of you, and looking forward to meeting you again in my next upcoming episode, the 13th episode of this season.